Hi, everybody. It's Mike Zabrocki. I'm coming to you today. Could be the night, could be during the day. But I'm coming to you to tell you a story. It's a true story. I haven't shared this with many people. Some people know of it, not everybody. And I was reminded of it yesterday, I believe. My daughter Olivia and I were in our garage. We were getting out stuff for Christmas to decorate for Christmas. And this item fell out of a box. I have a box of memorabilia from the past several decades of trying to do music in the beyond my church. Uh, doing it originally contemporary Christian music, now more hymn-like music, and but outside of my days when I was a kid playing in bands and playing in bars and trying to break into contemporary Christian music. So it all began, what fell out of the box, the memory began with this. Now, I've been carrying this around for a long time. You could see in the picture that it's me. I was younger. I had on a bomber jacket of some sort with a fur collar. I look pretty disheveled here because the shot of me for this pass, it's a building pass that I'm holding up here. You can see it's got a little thing you'd probably put your thing around your neck. Uh, was given to me in the picture was taken from the side while I was signing into a building. Um, so I just put out my first album, and I had a friend who worked for a popular representative company, uh, like a CWA type of a company. I believe that's who they are. Anyway, one of these companies like William Morris and so on that represented artists and stars and things. And she dropped a dime. And she got me an appointment in the Bertelmann's Music Group building with somebody very high up who I won't name his name right now. I'm not going to name his name. But so I get this call. I'm at my office at 1166 one day, and I get a call that this guy wants to see me. And he heard I work in the area, and can I come in? They wanted me to come in to talk to him because he's interested in my career. And I said, great. They said, if you have any CDs or cassettes, a press kit, please bring it. I always had that stuff with me wherever I went. Today it's all, they call them EPKs, electronic press kits. But back then, you walked, you had a press kit. It was, you had pictures, and I usually bought a folder, and it had, one side was pictures, one side was a bio and stuff like that, and some press you may have gotten. So I had all that in my office in the phone company. So I asked my boss if I could leave for a little while, and they said sure. And they knew what I was about back then. And I headed out to Bertelmann's Music Group, which was right across the street, literally, and down about not even half a block away. So I get there with my box of cassettes and CDs and press kit. And I looked like that picture. I looked like, one more time, I looked like this, right? And the lady says to me, deliveries are around the back. So I go, no, I have a meeting with so-and-so. And he asked me to come in, and she looks it up, and she goes, oh yeah, that's right, it's you. So sure, you could go up. Please stay with me. With these videos, a lot of people drop out after 30 seconds. Please stay with me. This might mean something to somebody out there. So the person at the front desk there points me down the hall to this private elevator, and outside of the elevator is an acrylic statue of Elvis Presley, and it was presented to this person at Bertelmann's Music Group. And it was from Graceland. Now, Elvis had already passed by this point. That's a cat running by here. The cats are playing. So I get in the elevator, and it's a private elevator. It takes me up to like the 36th floor. And I get out, and there's garbage everywhere. I don't mean garbage. I mean like there's pinball machines and posters and cardboard cutouts of stars, and there's just promotional stuff. It's like I walked into Tom Parker's, Colonel Tom's place with Elvis. You know, everything. I seem to remember everything possible being out there. Video games, the old time video games, not what you get at home today. Everything. So I walk all the way down this hall past the sea of madness, and there's a girl behind the desk, and she was very nice, and she said, "Are you Mike Sbaraki?" I said, "Yes." And she says, "You could go on into Mr. So-and-so's office, and he'll be in a minute." So I go in. I don't remember if there was a fireplace, but there was definitely a mantle. There should have been a fireplace. The office was completely encircled by glass. It was a glass office. No walls, but glass. And the furniture was sort of arranged like that with this desk in the middle. This was a powerful person. And on the mantle were Dove Awards and Grammy Awards and Tony Awards and probably an Academy Award. It was all there, and nobody was hiding anything. Very proud of a successful career, obviously. And I said, "Well, this is good, right?" And so the guy comes in, and he's very nice, and he asks to see my stuff. And I remember he played 2 tracks. He played "Take Him to Heart" and "Stand," and he was interested. And he said he had the power to sign me to 3 different record contracts, 3 different companies. So evidently this BMG, Bertelsmann Music Group, Bertelsmann Music Group, works with many different people. Like obviously RCA was one. I think Arista was another. There were many. And so he says, "Can I have the press kit?" I gave it to him. And he reads it. He goes, "I just have to step out for a minute. I'll be back." And I'm going, wow, I think I owe this person a thank you that sent me into this room. So he comes back in and he goes, "You're Catholic?" I go, "Uh-huh." I go, "Yep." He goes, "How serious is that?" And I said, "Well, I was baptized Catholic. I was raised in the Catholic Church. And I said, I'm a director of music in the Catholic Church, and my mom and dad are Catholic, and I'm going to probably die a Catholic." He says, "Can you play it down a bit?" And I said, "I don't know if I'm allowed to do that." I didn't know where this was going, but back then, this is how much things have changed since that time. Back then, you know, evangelical Christian, contemporary Christian music was big business, and it was really primarily made up of evangelical people of the faith. Wonderful talents, you know, you had your Amy Grants back then and all those type of people. And they had no room for Catholics. Catholics were buying it, they were taking our money. But there was no room for Catholics to be on the labels. And the guy was, and by the way, that's changed today. Matt Maher is a perfect example of somebody who was a Catholic, a practicing Catholic, I understand, very devout. And his wife is an evangelical, but he's a devout Catholic Christian man and a wonderful talent. And he's signed to a popular Christian label and doing very well. So it wasn't the case back then. So the gentleman says to me in no uncertain terms, very honestly and very nicely, that there was no room for me. And he apologized, and he wished things could be different. And I didn't feel offended by him or anything. I was crushed, but I was, this came out of nowhere, and it was obviously going nowhere. And so I thanked him for his time, and I left. He gave me everything back. I didn't even leave a CD with him. He didn't want it. It was over, and this was like none of those like, well, maybe he'll call me in a few days. No, this was dead. This little dream was dead over there. And and I just remembered, I had this post office box in the city back then, and I'd go in there once in a while, and I'd get rejections from major Christian labels and thank you but no thank you type of stuff. This was a personal thank you but no thank you, and I'm sorry. Um, so as I'm leaving, the front desk person down in the lobby says, "Can we have the pass back? Can we have this back?" And I had a Rocky moment at that moment. Remember when Rocky thought he was going to be sparring for Creed, and he asked if he could keep the pass. So I asked the girl. I says, "Can I keep this?" And she said, "Sure." And she could tell I was pretty down. I think I must have looked really bad. So I walked out, and it was raining. It was January 14th was the date. It says it on the pass. And it was pouring, and it was raining, and it was cold, and I wasn't going back to work yet. And I think I remembered dumping anything I had with me, that, and I put it in the garbage. And I wasn't feeling angry. I was just down, and I wasn't going to go back to work right away. So I walked down 6th Avenue to head towards Central Park. And thank you for everybody who's still with me here. Thank you, because this is where something happens. So I get to the park, and there's these horse-drawn carriages. The guys with the top hats. They all look like they just came out of Scrooge, and they got the horses. And I think there's some movements not to allow that to happen much because of cruelty to the animals and so on. But they were very popular back then. And so I'm walking along Central Park, and I hear one of the horse-drawn carriages coming along behind me to the side, and you hear the clippity-cloppity, clippity-cloppity. And I look to the side, and the guy driving, he's got the reins, I guess, with the horse, and he looks at me, and he tips his hat, and he goes, "Hey, kid!" And he tips his hat, and he goes, I look at him, he says, "We all can't be rock stars." And I felt like I was in the middle of a very spiritual moment at that time. I swear this person was an angel. It wasn't normal. This was not something. I mean, there's a lot of sad-looking people in New York, but this person just yelled out, "We all can't be rock stars." And here it is, several decades later, and it's true. And all I'm saying is, I got to revisit this now that I am, down the road here with Sally, my cat. Say hi to Sally, everybody. Sally, this is the world. World, this is Sally. So I got to be thinking about this little moment again today with Sally. And it's okay. I'm still trying. And I don't want to be a rock star anymore. But I'm still trying to realize a dream. My brother passed away not realizing 99% of his dreams. And I think most of us do. I think the goal is to keep trying. I think if, you can't see it here. I usually have a picture of Willy Wonka behind me, and that's over there somewhere behind me. And he says, whatever happened, what happened to the boy who got what he always wanted? He lived happily ever after. Well, that's not true. That's BS. The goal in life is to keep trying. We have to keep trying to be good people. We have to keep trying to serve each other. And we all have dreams and hopes, and what keeps you going is the trying. So, yeah, we all can't be rock stars, and maybe that's a good thing. And so I guess the only message I want to share right now is, number one, I think I was in the presence of an angel. I won't know that this side of heaven, but I think that was a message for me. and because there were other confirmations happening around then. And number two, don't stop trying. I'm still here. I'm still surrounded by this stuff that we call music, and uh, you keep trying, man. You just don't stop. You get inspired by other people that are into what you're doing or what you want to do, and you learn from them, and you're gonna make mistakes, and just keep on trying, folks. We all can't be rock stars, but we might be meant to be something else, and don't give up on your dreams, everybody. And that's might not be the biggest message after sticking around for 15 minutes over here, but if you stuck around till the end, I really thank you. If you feel like sharing this with somebody, please do. Um, Thanks, and have a good night, day.